We are live. Welcome to the Clicks to Riches show. My name is Martin. It is my pleasure to be your host today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for now, your POD business is limited to planet Earth, which is great because planet Earth is by far the most populated planet in our solar system. Therefore, it's reassuring to know that no matter where your customers live or where you choose to do business, we're the best solution on the market to provide your clientele with the highest quality products and service on which you can stake the reputation of your business. Today, we'll present you with everything you need to know about how to leverage the power of Printify to grow your business and put more money in your pocket. So who is this show for? Well, it's for anybody looking to do print-on-demand business anywhere on Earth. Merchants looking to expand beyond their current market, and we're going to put a special focus on the UK market, the second largest print-on-demand market on the planet. And it's also for existing entrepreneurs that are currently doing business in the UK and are looking for a better POD solution. And a little bit later, we'll be joined by Ryan Akers, the CEO of UK-based print solution Print Clever, to discuss the ins and outs of the POD market in the UK, what makes it different from the US, and how you can tap into the massive opportunities of doing business in the UK using the tools available to you in your Printify account. And we'll be covering the latest breaking headlines, trending products, everything you need to know to be successful at this. You can find it here at Clicks to Riches. And we'll wrap it all up with an action plan for you to put all the information presented to you today to work for you to grow your business. Now, there's going to be a live Q&A session as well. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, as we go along, if you have questions about any of the topics we cover, or you have questions for our guest, pop those into the chat. Our moderator Talish will collect those, and we will address those hopefully at some point during the show. But if not, then we will have a dedicated Q&A session after we have our guest interview, and we'll handle them there. So and with me as always is the lovely and talented Leah. Leah, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm wonderful.
Excellent. Are you ready for to have a good show?
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be a great show. Looking at the chat, we have Yanya from Slovenia, we've got Musinak from Germany, we've got people from Canada, all over the US, South Africa. It's an international party, which I think is quite fitting for our theme today.
Exactly. It matches perfectly because, as I mentioned previously, our theme is all about international expansion and expanding beyond your current market to maximize your sales potential. But my question is, do you like to win prizes?
I love prizes. I don't know about the audience.
Good. Well, lucky for you folks out there, at 2 points during today's conversation, I'm going to put things, I'm going to stop things and ask you to pull out your Printify accounts. So get those ready. Navigate by clicking on the left-hand side to where it says Payments, and click on where it says Wallet, and then there'll be a coupon section. Scroll down to where it says coupon, and I'm going to announce a coupon code. The first one of you that enters it in correctly into your Printify account will instantly win $50 of Printify sales credit, boom, placed directly into your account. So be ready. We're going to do that in 2 different places. And also, if that wasn't enough, we're going to give you another opportunity to be a winner. For 3 randomly selected folks who answer our post-show survey, you'll be randomly selected to receive a Clicks to Riches hoodie, a Clicks to Riches personalized mug, and $50 of Printify sales credit directly into your account. So stay tuned to the end for that. But first, folks, I promised you some headlines, and why don't we cover that right now? For the latest in print on demand, we cover some headlines, some more breaking than others. The first one I would like to present to you today is this world-shaking announcement that is only of interest to our audience and nowhere else. Shutterstock just merged with Envato, and maybe you've heard of Envato, maybe you haven't, but I'm pretty sure you've heard of Placeit, everyone's favorite source for digital mockups. So what this means is we've now combined Placeit's mockup capabilities with Shutterstock's image library to create sort of a one-stop shop for everything a digital creator needs, as well as the print-on-demand entrepreneur. So what does this mean? Well, bigger doesn't always mean better, but I think in this case, for you folks out there, it's actually a good thing. So now you can source all your stuff from one convenient place instead of having to do it piecemeal from site to site. So overall, I think it's a good thing.
You know, I think Placeit is a great place too. If you haven't checked it out yet for mock-ups, go check it out. And you can get individual mock-ups or you can get a subscription. And if you're wondering, well, is this subscription worth it for mock-ups? Yes, because you never know which mock-ups might work better than others. You need to test them out. You might need to swap them out. And if you're paying individually for every single mock-up, those little fees are going to add up. So you may as well just try out a subscription.
Exactly. And then this next story that I wanted to present to you, a study recently came out, and you can see the figures there on your screen, about the rise in demand for dye sublimated apparel. Now, this is, what they're talking about here is all over print or AOP products, which you can find in our in our catalog in the AOP section. This is driven largely on the fact that the young people out there are looking for more personalized products, and also don't sleep on sports teams that are requiring uniforms and things like that, and turning to print-on-demand merchants like you for those sort of sublimated products, and also driven also by work uniforms and things like that. So there's think of how many sports teams out there, and think of how many jobs out there require their own sort of uniform. So here is a great opportunity for you folks to capitalize on this massive increase in demand.
I also just want to remind everyone that AOP products, and especially AOP apparel, has super high potential for high profits. I mean, remember, you have the entire piece as your blank canvas, really giving you room for customization. You can boost that value. I see profit margins 60 to 70% for AOP hoodies sometimes.
Exactly. It's a product with a very high amount of perceived value that you can charge a premium price for. So it's definitely something for you enterprising merchants out there to consider. I'd leave it up to you. And then finally, I'd like to turn to our friends over there at Giraffe Social, and I just wanted to share this with you. We're popping these links into the chat, but no need to worry. If you're watching this on replay, you'll find all of the links that we talk about today in the description. In the description down below. But our folks at Giraffe Social came out recently with this guide to a perfect social media post, and I think this is great to explore, because when it comes to marketing your print-on-demand store, you can do no better than leveraging the power of social media. And in fact, that is going to be the topic of our next episode of Clicks to Riches in 2 weeks on May 23rd. We're going to pop that link to register right now so you don't forget. But join us in 2 weeks, and we'll discuss the world of social media and how you can make that work for you to drive traffic to your print-on-demand store. So join me for that. But let's take a shift right now and talk about trending products. Now, I compiled these for you, and I left out, of course, the tried and true winners. The hoodies, the sweatshirts, the mugs, the 11-ounce white mugs, the stuff that's perennially at the top of the list. And when I look at a data set like this, I look for the outliers, and this is what I've collected for you today. So I mentioned mugs, but I want to draw your attention to the two-tone and accent mugs. And I'm seeing a rise in demand for these because, well, although the 11-ounce mug is by far the most popular mug in the entire industry, what we can gather from the rise in popularity of these accent mugs is that people are looking for something a little bit different, with a little bit more color. So if you are a mug seller out there, or you're thinking about getting into that, well, you might want to shift to take advantage of the demand in the market to these two-tone mugs. But I leave that decision up to you. And speaking of drinkware, we see the sipper glass on there. And now think this is in line with what we're seeing, people getting ready for the warmer weather up here in the Northern Hemisphere. And they want to take advantage of those things that they can take with them. And it comes with a straw. Now, it doesn't go, it shouldn't go unmentioned that plastic straws kind of are on the out, and wherever you go when they give you straws, it's like a paper straw, and nobody likes those, or at least they're great for the first minute. So we're seeing a demand for people having their own straws, and you get that along with the sipper glass. And as you see these changes in the culture, if you sort of match that up with a product that is available in our catalog, meaning Okay, the straws are going this way. There might be an increase in demand for drinkware with straws. You can match that up and be on the forefront of this trend and be able to collect sales and be able to capture sales on the upswing of these trends rather than on the downswing.
I think those sipper glasses too, I love them. They're perfect for iced coffee in the summer, smoothies, maybe poolside drinks for those bachelorette parties. But also, they're not just trending in our Printify catalog. I saw them trending on Google Trends. You search it for the past 30 days, you'll see spikes. They're super hot on Etsy right now, so definitely try it out if you want some new summer products.
Sure, and don't sleep on the tumblers and things like that and travel mugs. It just signals a trend for drinkware altogether. Now, a couple other products I want to mention before we move on is, of course, the Racerback tank. Also, the unisex tank I saw climbing the chart, so to speak. But you're only going to have about until mid to late June before these sales level out. And for summer products in general, you've got until about the beginning of July before everybody already has the stuff they need for summer, they've purchased it all, and then we see a massive decrease in demand for those kind of things. But I do want to point out here that I did include one T-shirt on here, and that's the Hanes Beefy Tee, and I'm seeing quite a spike in sales for these. Now, the Hanes Beefy Tee, for those of you that may not be familiar with it, is an oversized tee. It's a nice, big, roomy, heavyweight T-shirt. And this lines up with the Instagram trend report that came out a while ago about how people are looking for how oversized clothes are in this year, and that's certainly playing itself out in our statistics. And we've just added a new oversized shirt that's even a little bit baggier than the Hanes Beefy Tee. That's the AS Color 5082. That's by Fulfill Engine in the US. You can find that in our catalog as well. So if you are interested in getting on those kind of trends, well, we've got plenty of options for you to do so.
I was actually quite curious about the Hanes Beefy Tee myself, was wondering, well, why this t-shirt all of a sudden is trending. And so I dove in a little bit. I actually read a review from Esquire magazine, it's a popular men's magazine, saying that it was the best t-shirt of all time. And okay, why is that? So I think it's quite popular among men because of that looser fit. It's hot out in summertime. You don't really want that cotton sticking to your skin. But it's also just that heavyweight fabric. Like you said, it's very durable. It can withstand all sorts of wear and tear.
Exactly, and it's the kind of product that when your customer receives it and they feel that heavyweight fiber, they're going to feel like they got their money's worth. Okay, so that's just something to think about. Well, let's switch gears again just a little bit and move on from trending products and talk about what to look for on the horizon in terms of what's coming up for the sales season. Mother's Day is right around the corner. Sales are pretty much over, so if you haven't got your mom something yet for Mother's Day, shame on you. You got to only have a few days left. But we touched on it a little bit earlier. Yeah, get ready for summer. Everyone's getting ready for summer. So to capitalize on this trend, please do yourself a favor, look through our catalog and think about the stuff that fits in with your niche and your target customer, because once summer's over, once we hit July, your sales opportunities are going to start decreasing massively.
Everyone's already gone to the beach at that point. They're not online shopping.
Exactly. And then don't sleep on Pride Month, which is right around the corner in June. Now, Pride Month turned out to be a major economic driver for print-on-demand merchants. So if this aligns with your customer focus and your niche, it's definitely something you might want to create some unique designs for to capitalize on the demand for Pride Month.
Speaking of Pride niches, though, we are going to be dropping a Pride niche video here shortly on our YouTube channel, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. We've got some great ideas for you.
Excellent. All right. Yes, do us a favor and do subscribe if you haven't already. And finally, I just want to touch on probably my favorite holiday of the year, Father's Day. Of course, why wouldn't I? But that's coming up on June 16th. It's never too early to get ready for Father's Day. It's a very popular holiday in print on demand, and it's something that you should be getting yourself prepared for now, because people like to shop early, and you want to be able to capture as many sales as possible while still targeting that niche, or that event rather. But what do you think? Do any of these stories have any particular interest to you? Do they affect you in any way, either positively or negatively? Let us know in that chat, and we can talk about it. But this is a great time to invite you, speaking of keeping the conversation going, to join me for my live Q&A sessions that I do from my home studio. They are 100% free. I do these on Mondays and Wednesdays. Come join me and let's talk about the things that you want to talk about. Talish is gonna pop that link into the chat. You can click on that and sign up right now. And let's talk about the things that you want to talk about, because my only goal is to sit down with you and do whatever I can to make you more knowledgeable and therefore more profitable. So sign up today, Mondays and Wednesdays, 100% free. I'll see you there. Well, I'm a fan of switching gears, so why don't we switch gears one more time and talk about the latest from Printify. First off, everybody likes profit. I mean, that's why we're in this business, to make a little bit of money. So we've made it a little bit easier for you to find out exactly how much profit you're going to be making on your sales with our Etsy Profit Calculator. And we'll pop in a link into the chat to a Help Center article that explains this a little bit more in depth. But again, if you're watching on replay, you can find that in the description below. But what we've done here is just made the process a little bit more straightforward and incorporated a little bit of Etsy's pricing and their fees, so that you know, as you are pricing your products in your Printify account, how much profit you'll be able to capture on a sale-by-sale basis, which is very, very helpful and great to have. And we're also going to be working on offering this with other sales channels, so just stay tuned for more.
I see a lot of merchants, especially new merchants, who lose money on their first few sales because they forgot some sort of fee or the transaction fee. So really take advantage of this profit calculator. Exactly, because we're in this business to make money, so do yourself a favor and make use of that profit calculator to make sure you're not leaving any money on the table. This is a good one for you folks out there that sell matte canvases, because I know how particular you folks can be. We get it all the time. I need this particular size. I need that particular size. And you artists as well. You're very particular about what size of a canvas to place your artwork on. Well, good news, folks. We're offering even more matte canvas sizes from our print provider, Jondo. Now, Jondo is one of those print providers that has multiple facilities all over the world and can route your orders to the facility that's closest to your customer's shipping address. We'll cover that a little bit later in today's presentation, but just know you have even more sizes now to choose from. What a day, happy day. But let's switch gears yet one more time, folks, and get back to the theme of our show, which is international expansion and how you can take advantage of the tools that are native in Printify to unlock the potential of making every single person on planet Earth your potential customer. And we're going to do that in a segment we like to call Spotlight on Planet Earth with Leah. Leah, what do you have for us today? Yes, so I'm going to be talking about a few features that are really going to help you either expand your current market or just dip your toes into an international market. So expansion, it doesn't necessarily have to be across the world to a different country. It can mean expanding your region. Maybe you want to try selling in a different state. So we're going to talk about some different solutions to this. So with Printify, how can you reach all these potential customers around the globe? Well, first of all, you have access to our global print provider network. And I think at this point we have 100, maybe over 100 facilities around the world that do ship to most countries. And of course, you can manage everything easily from one account, okay? So we have the tools to make this work for you and make it simple. The first tool we're talking about is order routing. Order routing will help you streamline this process. It helps you automate things, and it really just simplifies this initial global expansion if you're trying it for the first time. So what is order routing? Well, when you get an order from somebody outside of your target market, the order will be automatically routed to the most suitable alternative print provider in the same country or region as your customer. So, for example, if you sell a t-shirt using a US-based print provider and you get a customer from Germany ordering that t-shirt, we'll automatically route it to a suitable print provider in Europe, and this is going to save you massively on shipping costs, on fulfillment times, and even on customs duties. And order routing is free for all Printify merchants, so you don't have to have a premium account to use this feature. Okay? How can we set this up then in our Printify account? Well, go to your store settings first, find order settings, and then you're just gonna tick that box that says enable order routing. And of course, you're gonna wanna save your settings. But we have two additional settings here. We have the maximum additional cost per item setting. So this lets you set a cap on the additional amount that you're willing to spend on an alternative, okay? So if that price exceeds the limit that you set, or there's just no alternative found, then the order simply won't be routed, or we'll put it on hold, waiting for you to take further action, okay? Moving down, you can either choose to have an exact product match if your order is routed, or you can choose to match it to a similar product if an exact match is not available. And whatever you choose, you will see a detailed cost breakdown of this routed order whenever you open your order details. Okay, let's move on. You do need to know a few things when enabling order routing. So all of your orders will potentially be eligible for order routing, but that doesn't mean they will be routed, okay? Orders will only be routed if the ordered product is out of stock or it's been discontinued by your chosen print provider. So for example, you're selling backpacks and one is out of stock. You don't have to go into the catalog yourself, find an alternative, swap it out. We'll do that for you automatically with order routing, okay? Your orders will be routed if your chosen print provider has been temporarily closed, maybe because of a local holiday, something like that. Or if the estimated time for fulfillment is going to be significantly longer than if we were to reroute it. And lastly, if your chosen print provider is located in a different geographic region than your customer, we'll also route it to a closer print facility. So you can sell blankets using a US print provider. If someone from the UK orders this blanket, we can route it to a UK print provider. And if you have an order with multiple products, we can fulfill it with a single print provider if that print provider has all of those products available, so we won't split your order if possible. And that'll also save you on production and shipping costs. Okay? And there are a couple other things to keep in mind. So if your design were to be scaled down by more than 7%, we will not route the order. Okay, we don't want to mess up your designs too much, okay? And only orders with single line items will be internationally routed. Now, we are working on a better solution for this, but 75 to 90% of POD orders are single line items anyway, so you might not have to really worry about this. And lastly, order routing needs to be enabled on a separate store level. So if you have multiple stores, you're gonna have to enable that setting for each store. And some of you might be thinking, well, do I need to adjust my retail prices then if I enable order routing? In short, no, you can keep your retail prices exactly the same. Remember, your customer has already placed their order. So do account for any slight fluctuations, whether that's positive or negative, depending on the routing outcome. But keep in mind, the price change won't always be an increase, right? If it's going to be routed internationally, you're probably going to save on money. And you've also set that threshold, so if it's increased by too much, we'll simply put it on hold and let you take control. Lastly, order routing is not a magic wand as much as we want it to be. So if your product just isn't available in your customer's region or the price increase is too high, order routing simply won't work. So overall, it can help you automate and streamline your international expansion, but others still might want to have full control. So what do? Well, we can fulfill our orders manually. How do we do this? Well, we can start by creating 2 unpublished products or listings in your Printify account. So you'll have one listing with a US-based print provider, for example, and maybe a second listing with a UK-based print provider or whatever region, okay? But you wanna make sure that all of those print providers do offer the same product or the same garment colors, sizes, and print areas. After you've done that in your Printify account, in your sales channel, you're going to create a manual listing for this product, and you're going to set up flat rate shipping, or you can do free shipping, of course, but you're going to set up different rates for the different shipping zones. So when your customer enters their delivery address, at checkout, they'll see the corresponding rate. You will then manually import that order from your Other Orders tab when your customer submits it to their store, and then you can select that product and link it to the corresponding listing, draft listing that you made earlier in Printify. So if someone from the UK orders, you would find it in the Other Orders tab, find that UK draft listing that you found, and then you'll import it. But one quick note, do not check that box. We'll show it on the screen here. Don't check the box that says automatically import orders with this product variant. If you do that, it's going to map all future orders to that specific variant. So we want to keep that unchecked. All right, moving on, I think we can talk about currencies.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so Printify has started offering a lot more currencies. We've got USD, we've got Canadian dollars, euros, the Great British Pound, and Australian dollars. And stay tuned for more. We're always trying to add more for you. So how can we change our currencies in Printify? Well, we have two types of currency. We have the catalog currency and we have the billing currency. The catalog currency is actually the currency that you'll see all of the prices in the catalog as well as the shipping prices. So you can view them in these different currencies, and you can change that by finding the drop-down menu in the top right corner. And this is really useful if you have multiple stores with different currencies. And then we have billing currencies. So this currency is what you'll be charged for orders and your premium subscription if you use Printify Premium. To change your billing currency, you'll just go over to your wallet, then to payments, and you can change it under the payment details page. Now, keep in mind, changing one will not change the other. They are independent of each other. So Printify will then charge you in whatever billing currency you've set, but you can still sell in any currency you want on your sales channel. So it's important that you just go to your sales channel and you set the currency there. And most sales channels are going to be quite well adjusted to sell in various currencies. They have the functionality to automatically adjust your retail prices to your customer's IP address, so you don't really need to worry about that. And you also don't need to worry about languages, as a lot of browsers can auto-translate websites to the customer's or to the user's native language. And lastly, what can we expect from Printify in the future? Well, sales channels, always sales channels, and a little tease, maybe, dare I say, Amazon or TikTok for UK users?
I don't know. You didn't hear it here. I will deny it if I'm asked in court. But let's hope for the best in the future. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for that presentation, Leah. That was quite comprehensive. That was a lot of information. But folks, good news is that you can revisit this Leah's presentation by rewatching this episode, as it will live forever in the live section of our YouTube page. And again, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Why haven't you already? Okay, so hopefully we can count on you for that. We would greatly appreciate it. But if I can just put a bow on this particular section of discussion before we move on, it's this, and it's a conversation that I've had a million times in my live Q&A sessions that I do on Mondays and Wednesdays, where for people that are just starting out, they are a little paranoid about being able to fulfill orders internationally right off the bat. And I just want to assure you folks that if you're just starting out and you're just getting your feet wet in this industry, that chances are you're not going to have a whole lot of orders outside of your target market. So if you're using US-based print providers and doing business in the United States, although it's not unheard of on sales channels like Etsy or Shopify to get an international order, it's likely not going to be as big of an issue as you might think, okay? If it is, well, good on you, because that's what we like to call a good problem. But just know that when it comes time for your business to expand, we've got the tools that Leah just explained to make it work for you as part of our partnership here at Printify. So we got your back.
I think that's a really good point to make. You know, you can learn all the theory you want, but just start with your first couple of international orders and you'll really start to get the hang of it, and Practice makes perfect.
Exactly. And when it makes sense for you, pull that trigger on order routing or some of the other methods that we discussed today. All right. Well, folks, I want to give away some money, and I promised you earlier I would give away a coupon code, and I'm nothing if not a man of my word. So I'm going to ask you to pull out your Printify accounts because I'm going to give away today's first coupon code worth $50 of Printify sales credit. Go ahead and click on the left-hand side where it says Wallet, and then click on where it says Payment from the drop-down menu, and then navigate over to where it says Coupons, and prepare to enter today's first coupon code. And if you do win, folks, let us know in the chat so we can all celebrate. So, whoever puts this next code in first will win $50 of Printify sales credit. So, are you ready? The coupon code is Let's Go Global, spelled just like this, all one word. I have a feeling that someone has already typed it in and has received $50 of Printify sales credit, but just to be clear, you won't see any bells and whistles saying congratulations you won or sorry you didn't win. You'll either get the $50 or it'll say this coupon doesn't exist because, well, we only created one of them. Okay, but we'll give you another chance to win here in just a little bit, so stay tuned. But folks, it is my pleasure to introduce today's guest. Now, he is the CEO of Print Clever. His name is Ryan Akers. He was generous enough to come all this way and join us in studio to be the first in-studio guest for the Clicks to Riches show, of which we are majorly appreciative. And Print Clever, for you folks out there that don't know, it's the best print solution anywhere in the beautiful island of Great Britain. Okay, so Ryan, how are you doing today?
Very good, thank you.
Excellent, wonderful. Again, thank you for sharing your time with us today and our audience. And we're going to cover a little bit about the nuances of the UK market, what makes it different from the US, and a little bit how to make that work for you in print on demand. But first, let's break the ice a little bit. I prepared a little trivia question for you, Ryan. Mm-hmm. Now, you are English, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as we all know, everyone knows there's a very popular royal family in the UK. So I'm going to give you a royalty-based question. Are you ready, my friend?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. King Henry VIII. How many wives did King Henry VIII have? Was it 4, 6, 8, or 12?
It was 6.
Oh my goodness, someone paid attention in school. Congratulations, that is the correct answer. Very good. You can hang your head high. They will not take your passport for you. You can go home and tell all your friends how smart you are. Wonderful. All right, well, let's move on a little bit. Why don't we talk about Print Clever? Why don't you give us a little background on what exactly it is you guys do over there?
Yeah, so we are a print-on-demand company based in the UK. We have such a massive range of products from garments, home textiles, hard goods, home furnishings, and we manufacture all these products. We deliver them directly to your customer. Yeah, in a nutshell, that's it.
Okay, and what I think is really interesting about what you guys are doing over there is you are leveraging the latest technology to really be on the forefront of print on demand. So why don't you take us through the steps you've taken to upgrade your technology and then what that means for our merchants out there?
Absolutely, yeah. So in the last 9 months, we've been working on a partnership to create kind of like the next generation of print on demand factory. It's been a lot of work, it's been a lot of effort, but we're already starting to see fantastic results. So it's completely automated factory. We've kind of replaced all of the sort of traditional mechanisms with automation technology. And we're now at a point where we can actually track every item, every stage of an item's order from the order hitting our systems to the order being shipped to the customer, every single person that's touched that order, which, you know, it just gives us so much more flexibility and oversight. So when we're looking at quality control and training and you know, the better ways that we can do our processes, we just have complete visibility over everything.
Okay, and what does that mean in terms of speed of fulfillment?
Absolutely. So we're really happy that we are going to be now aiming to have 90% of all of our orders shipped within one business day.
Did you say 90%? Okay, I hope you folks heard that out there. 90% of all orders shipped within, what was that again?
Within one business day.
Within one business day, okay.
Absolutely.
And that's standard practice, right?
Yeah, the UK market is, I guess because it's a small island, everyone is just super used to getting stuff now. Being able to kind of leverage technology to really reduce lead time is probably one of the main driving factors for what we've done.
Okay, and I mentioned earlier at the top of our discussion that the UK is the second largest print-on-demand market after the United States. So you can get if you can get orders out 90% of the time in one day, and then have them delivered in what kind of shipping times can people expect from your facility in the UK?
Absolutely. So standard shipping times in the UK are normally about 2 days. That's to anywhere in the UK. So it's, I guess, probably different from places like Europe and America where things, further distances. But I guess because of just the size of the UK, it means that we can get products delivered super quick.
Okay, and just a quick reminder out there, folks, we're going to have a Q&A session at the end of our discussion. So if you haven't already, put those questions into the chat, and our moderator, Talish, will collect those, and Leah will read those off here in just a minute, okay? So if you want to ask your question to Ryan about anything we covered today, please feel free to do so. Okay, great. So fulfillment in 1 day, shipping in 2 days, anywhere in Great Britain. That sounds like a pretty good deal. Let's shift focus away from the UK for just a second, and we'll come back, because you've recently opened a facility in the United States. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay,
yes.
so you have multiple. You have two identical facilities in the UK and the US. So what does that mean for merchants out there that do business with Print Clever?
Absolutely. So for just over a year ago, we opened up a facility in Minnesota, and our real aim throughout that was to kind of offer this consistent service, same product across both regions. Obviously now recently, this is now leveraging the same technology as well. So we've got both technologies, and then the plan is over the next kind of couple of years is to have the complete mirror offering. So every product that we produce in the UK, we're also going to produce in America, which means, and it kind of talks on to your geo routing earlier, when a customer places an order, they know that from Print Clever, they will get exactly the same product in the UK, exactly the same product in America, which is so important for consumers. Okay, and so basically, aside from the automated order routing that Leah explained earlier, sort of another feature that print providers like Print Clever can offer, and I mentioned a little bit earlier about Jondo with their worldwide fulfillment, you create a product with Print Clever, and depending on your customer's shipping address, whether it's in the UK or the US, the order will be automatically sent to the facility best suited to fulfill that order automatically without you having to do anything. So giving you the freedom to use Print Clever to fulfill your orders, yet not have to deal with some of the other things that you would have to with automated order routing. So that is something to definitely consider, folks, okay? So how does that actually benefit people who are doing business in the UK and the US? I guess a massive benefit is that we've noticed that, and so when we talk to big brands, etc., is that product consistency and product quality is so important to brands. And so by offering the products in both regions, it means that we can, even down to, let's say, on a canvas, the wood. It's the same wood that we use in the UK, same wood that we use in America. Okay. So we can offer that, perfect product every time, and the customer knows, or the merchant knows, it'll be the same regardless of which factory it's being made and shipped from. Okay, and so leveraging the technology and all the fulfillment, you know that at the end of the day, your customer is going to receive a quality product that's been checked, and you know that your customers are going to receive something that they're going to want to buy more from you. Okay, absolutely. For repeat business. Wonderful. Let's talk a little bit about the differences between the UK and the US market. For those of you that are already doing business in the US, maybe you'd want to consider doing business in the UK. So what are the major differences between the UK and the US in terms of print on demand? Okay, so we've already obviously mentioned size and scale. The UK is smaller, so as I mentioned, the lead times are a lot quicker, and customers do expect that. In terms of how that consumer sort of acts and the things that they are interested in, we're noticing a big shift in the UK market and worldwide, but definitely in the UK market around sustainability and making products, making products that don't have a massive impact on the environment. Now, obviously, print on demand ticks so many of those boxes anyway because there's no wastage. There's not big warehouses full of stock that ends up going in the bin because it can't be sold. But that's definitely something to look out for. Is that there are so many more organic brands of garment, etc., coming to the market. And that definitely seems to be a big shift for consumers now.
Okay, and what about UK's customers' expectations in terms of when they order online?
Absolutely. So I would say two things then. UK customers always love a deal. So you might find that if you use, say, discount codes or coupons, that they will definitely use them. And once again, it's the getting the product to them quickly. And that will always help increase that retention of customers.
Okay, so the UK loves a bargain. That's good to know. And then if you can fulfill and if you can deliver an order in 3 business days, 1 day for production, 2 day for shipping. Okay, and if you live closer to the facility, of course you're going to get a little bit earlier. But of course, yeah. And you combine that. Well, you've got a recipe for success out there, folks. So hope you folks have been paying attention because sounds like a massive opportunity for you to expand your business over to the UK. Because there's a lot of similarities. The language is, of course, the same. There's a little bit of subtle nuances in how people shop. But do you have any general advice for someone looking to do business in the UK that's used to doing business in the United States?
I guess apart from everything else that we've just spoken about, it's probably, and you guys spoke about it earlier, and it's something that we've noticed throughout the years has worked so well for us. And it kind of comes back to that Placeit conversation, actually. We have product images, and having good product images makes such a difference to your conversion rate and to how consumers interact with your brand and your conversion rates. So that would be one massive thing that I would definitely reinforce.
Okay, and one more thing I want to cover before we move on to the Q&A portion is that I heard that, especially when it comes to print on demand, things that are popular in the United States, well, those are popular first, and then after a while they become popular in the UK. Is that true?
It is definitely a trend that we do see. I think as well, a lot of the brands, in terms of garment brands and different cuts, always tend to launch first in America. Now, that's not saying that every type of garment that launches in America will work in the UK, but it should give you a really good idea of how those trends go into America. They should normally then flow into the UK.
Okay, so America's gonna experience those trends first, and then once you've experienced that, you know that you can poise yourself for success and anticipate this to happen in the UK at a later date.
Yeah.
That's very interesting, okay? So folks that are out there doing business in the United States, you kind of get a jump on the game. That's important to know, okay? All right, well, thank you very much. Let's go ahead and turn to our audience and see what they have to say. And thank you very much for everybody that submitted a question. And if we don't get a chance to get to your question, my apologies, but we can keep the conversation going at my live Q&A sessions that I do on Mondays and Wednesdays, so come join me. We'll pop that link into the chat one more time. Okay, but Leah, what do the folks out there have to say?
We've got lots of good questions today. So I'm going to start with a question from Colton. Hello, Colton. Can we do international sales and limit it to just the UK starting out?
Certainly. All you would need to do is just create your products with UK-based print providers, like Print Clever. And then that way, if you're specifically marketing to and targeting the UK market, all of your products will be printed and shipped from within the United Kingdom. So yes, of course, you certainly don't have to limit your print on demand business to a single market. But if you're starting out and that's the way you want to go, of course you can. Just use UK-based print providers and there should be no issue.
Yeah, good question. Next question from Anaconda Prod. Can we sell print on demand products on eBay UK?
Ooh, very good question. As it stands right now, the answer is no, but we're working on it, so stay tuned. Maybe we can get that to you sooner rather than later, okay? But as it stands right now, you're just gonna have to wait a little bit. But we do have it available, we do have eBay US available for US merchants. So there's a little bit of eBay for you there somewhere.
Yes,
okay?
Keep asking. If you ask, you will eventually receive.
Yes, exactly. The squeaky wheel gets the grease, so to speak.
All right, a question from Jennifer. What is a single line item? Good question. A single line item is simply one product. So I mentioned if you have a single line item, it will be rerouted internationally. If you have multiple products in one order, then at the moment, it won't be internationally routed. So just a single product.
Exactly. But again, depending on seasonality, 70% to 90% of your orders are going to be single line item orders. So it's probably won't be as big of an issue as you might think. But if you do sell multiple products in a single order, well, good for you. That's a win. That's a win in and of itself.
Okay. We have a question from Kwee LaRue. I'm so sorry. I probably
Hi,
mispronounced that.
Thanks for joining.
This is a good question too. If I just want to use one print provider like Jondo, will the order only be routed to their international providers?
Well, I mean, yes, but only based on your customer shipping address. So it's not like someone from the United States is going to order it and they're going to produce it from their Spanish facility. I mean, same thing with Print Clever. If someone from the UK orders it, I mean, they're not going to produce it in their Minnesota facility. That just wouldn't make sense. Okay, so I mean, yes, but no is the answer to your question, or no, but yes, depending on how it was.
A question from Naughty Gnome Tico. Tico, what a great name! I love it. Doesn't Etsy mandate that we allow returns and exchanges in the UK?
Ooh, that's a very good question. Now, I know for some countries like the Netherlands, that is the case. Whether or not that is, I don't know if I'm going to be able to give you a satisfying answer on this. I think you've come up with a very good question. So one thing I'm going to ask you to do, and I apologize because I speak for the Printify side of things, not the Etsy. But maybe someone out there in our chat has the answer, and you can fill in. What was the name again? Quo?
No, this was Naughty Gnome Tico.
Oh, this was Naughty Gnome T. Okay, so Naughty Gnome, hopefully somebody out there in our audience has the answer for you. But unfortunately, you're not going to find it here. But good luck to you, okay?
Now, I do want to mention, though, that you can offer any return or exchange policy you want in your store. You don't have to follow Printify's return and exchange policy per se. So you can still offer returns for buyer's remorse, for example, if you want to.
Exactly. And I've worked with merchants in the past that have facilitated the returns policy to one degree or the other in the past. It's kind of a hassle, but you certainly have the freedom and flexibility to run your business however you like.
Great. Okay. A question from Dazzler 2000. You guys have so many creative names. I love this. Do people in the UK understand cultural references from the US?
Oh, that's a question for our British friend here.
Yeah, I would say, lots of English people watch American TV. So I would definitely say that we understand American culture, yeah.
Okay. What about American football?
I personally would say there's only one type of football.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry this interview is over. You're gonna have to go. Oh my goodness, you just broke my heart. I thought we were gonna be friends. Now I know that's not gonna happen. Okay, all right, I think we have time for one more question.
All right, last question from Coco Chanel. What about Scotland or Wales? Would you consider those regions to be unique in terms of what consumers want?
Ooh, that's another question for our British friend here.
No, I would say, generally the trends seem to be across the United Kingdom. And probably one other point just to make on that is, again, with shipping lead times, etc. When I mentioned earlier 2 days, that would be for the whole of the UK, including Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, not just England.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wonderful. So there you go. What's good for one region is good for the other, at least in the terms of print on demand. Okay. Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you everyone to everyone that submitted a question. Apologies if we didn't get to yours, but no problem. Join me for my live Q&A sessions, and we can keep that conversation going. Thank you very much, Ryan. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
But I promised some people we were going to give away a little bit more money, so I'm going to ask you to take out your Printify accounts and click on the wallet section there on the left. Click on payments and scroll on down to where it says coupon, because I'm going to give away today's second coupon code. And I don't know if we had a winner in the chat or announced themselves, but if you did, congratulations. But again, if you get the $50 of Printify sales credit put into your account, let us know in that chat so we can all congratulate you on your fast typing skills. But here we go. Today's second coupon code is auto order routing. Spelled just like this, all one word. We can't make it too easy for you folks. There you go.
Auto order routing. Say that 5 times
Exactly.
fast.
Auto order. No, I'm not going to. I'm not even going to try.
Auto order routing.
I'm not even going to try. But congratulations to you out there. If you are the winner, again, let us know in the chat. But don't worry, folks. There's still another chance to win some free stuff. At the end of our presentation today, we're going to give out a link to a survey. If you fill out the survey, 3 of you will be randomly selected to receive our prize package of a Clicks to Riches hoodie, a Clicks to Riches personalized mug like the one you see here, and $50 of Printify sales credit, boom, placed right into your account. So stay tuned for that. But let's close things off today with a little bit of an action plan so we can put the things that we learned today to work for you to drive sales and build profit. First of all, it's time to consider whether it is time or not to expand beyond your existing market. And hopefully with the information that we presented to you today, you'll be able to make a more informed decision. But keep in mind, we have excellent coverage in the UK, continental Europe, and Australia, places like that. So no matter where your customers are, you can reach them with your partnership with Printify. And then also several of our print providers like Print Clever have multiple facilities. So outside of order routing, you can have those orders routed from a single listing automatically, just natively by selecting those print providers. And the UK is a largely untapped market. It's very similar to the US. So if you're familiar with one, you could easily do business in the other. And you don't have to live there to do business there. This is something I inevitably come across when talking to folks in my Q&A sessions. They ask me, I live in India. Can I still do business in the United States? Yes, of course you can. That's what makes this business that we have chosen so attractive. All you need is an internet connection, and you could literally do it from anywhere. Okay? So no worries there.
Okay. So how can you now apply all of this info today? Well, first of all, you need to decide which order fulfillment method will work best for you and your business needs. We offered order routing if you want something a bit more streamlined, automated, simpler to get into, or if you want more control, you can go with manual fulfillment. And you can also connect multiple versions of your store based on different geographic locations to one Printify account if that's what you prefer to do.
Wonderful. And I'm going to wrap this section up with a little checklist for you. And it's going to come with, I'm going to ask you to answer 3 questions before you determine whether or not it's time to move on to other markets. First of all, define what success looks like. What is it you're trying to achieve by expanding into new markets? Are you looking just to find new customers, be more profitable, to sort of leverage your business against hard times in one market by propping yourself up in another? But define your goals from the get-go. And secondly, decide which market works best for you. Now, because not all markets are the same, so do your due diligence before you venture into a new market to make sure that your target market is even going to be receptive to the products that you're offering. Like if you sell, I don't know, Trump-themed barbecue T-shirts, well, that's probably not going to play very well in New Zealand. So just make sure you at least do that bit of research into your target market, and have a comprehensive go-to-market strategy. And what I mean by that is make sure you're being sensitive to the cultural nuances of this new market that you're entering into. Be aware of the language and also dialects of these regions, and also consumer preferences that may be different from what you're used to. Now, if you can go through that list and come up with an answer for all 3, it might be time for you to venture off into new markets. And hopefully we presented you with the tools today so that you can maximize your potential with your partnership with Printify.
Remember, you don't have to do everything at once. Start with one tool. Get a feel for it. If you're not feeling it, try a different tool. You know, you've got different options.
Exactly. And tools that are available to you, like order routing, are free. So it's not like you're going to be out of pocket if you want to try it out. Well, lastly, today I want to introduce you to a friend of ours. Her name is Zara, and she is one of our very successful UK-based merchants. She was recently featured in a blog article. We're going to pop the link to the blog article so you can read up about her. But just briefly, Zara was recently graduated from university. She studied marketing, and she found it was not as easy as she would have liked to find a job right out of school. So what she did was she went to work for herself, and she started a UK-based print-on-demand business business with Printify and was able to leverage her university, the skills that she learned at university with marketing, and found success and found success in print on demand. You can read all about it in the blog article. But she used she was able to use auto routing and tools like that to really maximize her success. And it's really a testament to the fact that sometimes the best bet you can make is the bet on yourself. So good for you, Zara. All right, folks. Well, I don't know. I had a good time. What about you, Leah?
I had a great time. I loved reading the chat here. So many good questions, and you guys are really active.
Exactly.
Great.
So, but we're not done. Join us again in 2 weeks when we're going to be talking all about how to leverage the power of social media to drive traffic to your online store. So that'll be in 2 weeks on May 23rd. So join me, same bat channel, same bat time. And also we're going to pop that link to our post-show survey where you can answer it, and 3 lucky winners will be randomly chosen to receive the prize package. A Clicks to Riches hoodie, not unlike the one Leah is wearing right now. A Clicks to Riches personalized mug, not unlike the one we are holding in our hands right now, and $50 of Printify sales credit. So go ahead and let us know how we did today and what you want to see from us in the future. And yeah, that's about it for today. I want to thank my guest, Ryan. Ryan, do you have any last words for our audience?
I guess just thank you for having me. And hopefully what we've spoken about today will help people grow and build their businesses.
Exactly. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing your time with us today. How about you, Leah? Any last words for the audience?
Tune in next time and go get them, Tigers.
All right. Well, that's it for us today. You are free to go about the rest of your day. Thank you for sharing your time with us at the Clicks to Riches show, and we'll see you next time.